I'm squeezing my thighs even though they're apart. And then I'm gonna take a nice inhale here, breathing into the chest to keep my core tight. I'm gonna exhale, pressing my hips up and away from the mat. I'm really pressing with my legs here, my feet, and then exhale, slowly lowering down. And we're gonna do this 10 times. So going up and down nice and slow, we want to engage every muscle. If we make this super fast, that might have looked really weird, then you're not really getting as much out of it as you would if you just really steady, squeezing every muscle. Make sure you're always breathing, otherwise you'll really tucker out your body. I'm squeezing my glutes, pressing my arms firmly into the mat. Two more times. One more. And go ahead and just take a moment to rest here. If you need to kind of wiggle your knees out, drop them side to side. You can even sit with them one way or the other. And then quick rest. We're gonna do one more set just like this, and then we're gonna try and take it up a notch after that. So same thing, make sure that you're nice and set, engage your whole body. My whole body is tight right now, and pressing up, starting with the hips, all the way up your vertebrae and down. 9 more times. Breathing through it. When people think of their core or their abs, they only think about the front of their stomach sometimes, but really your core and your abs really are the sides of your body, as well as your back. If your stomach muscles are weak, your back is gonna have to overcompensate for that, and vice versa. And all of our actions should start from our core, from our whole torso here. Even when you walk, instead of just flinging your leg forward from the knee, you can really engage your bottom and really pull from the core to step forward. A couple more times here. And one more. I know it's burning. I hope it is. And then slowly lowering down. You can even hug your knees into your chest. So we're gonna do this two more sets, but now I'm gonna take it up a notch and lift a leg as I do this. If that's too much for you, if you're just good here with both feet on the mat, then great. But you know, the more you practice this, the better it'll get, and the more you can accomplish. So I'm going to press up into my bridge. Gotta make sure that you're nice and set, and then I'm going to lift a leg. I'm trying to flex it straight up, keeping my hips level, foot is flexed, slowly lowering down. And back up. Really engaging, I'm squeezing my thigh in and out, so it's almost kind of pulling, but I want my toes forward. My whole leg is engaged right now. 2 more. Slowly lowering down. If you ever just like get to your end, like you've just hit your wall, try not to collapse. Try to control your body out of whatever position it is in, and that will really help to train your muscles and really build up their strength. All right, so now after you take a little rest, we're gonna try same thing, but now with the right leg up or the opposite leg up. Getting nice and strong here, lifting that right leg strong in the air, flexing those toes, my whole thighs engaged, and slowly lowering. Two more. Just kidding, one more. And 3. Ooh, slowly lowering down. And go ahead and wiggle out those legs. Good job. Even roll out your ankles some. Okay, now we are going to lay all the way down on our mat, legs straight out. We're gonna do what's called a hollow body hold. So a hollow body is when you really pull and engage everything in your torso and your core. And from there you can pretty much do anything. It's a nice strong hold. So we're gonna exhale, lift the legs, but I want it to be from pulling here. I'm not just like trying to, I don't even think I can do it wrong. Lift them up from the legs, because then that's a lot on your back here. So we really want to make sure that we're tucking the tailbone down and through, pulling that low belly in. Then I'm going to roll my shoulders off the mat, looking at my toes. Now here we're just going to hold and breathe. So you want to make sure that your low back, you can't get your hand through, and that your legs and your upper torso are off the ground. Breathing into your chest to keep your core tight. And exhale, slowly lowering down. We're not slingshots. And breathe. And we'll do that 2 more times. If doing both is too much for you, you can always just start by holding the legs if you really want to work out the lower ab region, or you can even start by just lifting your torso, and that will activate your upper ab area. All right, so when you're ready, however you have to do this, again, you can keep working up. There is no glass ceiling to fitness. I'm gonna inhale, lift my legs, inhale, lift my shoulders, and hold. Breathe. The mind gives up before the body does. And exhale, slowly lowering down. Now that is just like a good full body workout right there. You just hold your whole body tight, activate every single one of your muscles. You'll start to see the difference in the tone and in your strength. And then when you're ready, lifting back up into that hollow body. Breathe, make sure you're breathing. Maybe even smile, even though you're probably cursing me out right now. And exhale, slowly lowering down. Ooh, even I want to drop out of them sometimes, but I really resist. Okay, now we're going to try for like a full body sit-up. instead of crunches. If you need to, you can always put your feet on the ground, having your knees slightly bent, so when you go to lift up, it's a little bit easier. Or you can take your legs straight out with me. What we're gonna do is, again, engage, get that hollow. This was me like relaxed and not really activating anything. And then now I'm really pulling in. So I'm gonna exhale, sit up, and then fold forward. And then inhale up. Exhale down. As you can see, I like to keep my legs slightly lifted for that in my hollow. And reach for those toes. Let's do a few more of these. Trying to go with one vertebrae at a time. Really folding forward as much as you can, then lifting those legs, slowly rolling back through that hollow body. And then one more time, back down. And up. And go ahead and hold here in this forward fold. You can let your back round, or you can get a nice hamstring stretch, keeping your back flat. Whatever feels good for you in this moment, that's what I recommend you doing. Breathing here. Let your body refill with that oxygen. All right, now we're gonna flip over and come onto our forearms, taking our legs behind us into a plank. I'm gonna clasp my hands together and make sure that my elbows are just under my shoulders. Then I'm gonna take my feet out back behind me. As you can see, I'm not wearing shoes. If you like to wear shoes in your workout, that's awesome. I just don't like shoes, so foot prisons. I'm gonna take my feet straight out back, really lifting. Here's me sinking. We don't want that, right? We also don't want this. This isn't a twerk video. Or even here, because then see how my shoulders are behind my elbows? I'm not doing anything in my core. This is all arm. You can really hurt yourself too. So make sure you're nice and straight. If you need a mirror or a friend to help you figure that out, great. Really pull in that low belly, and we're gonna hold. I'm looking at my hands to keep my neck nice and neutral. I'm not crunching or crunching. Breathing into the chest to keep the core tight. I'm squeezing my glutes, pressing my feet back and away from me, and pulling in with my elbows, which activates my arms. Nice full body workout here. Everything is learning to work together. Breathe. Storm within, calm without. Take yourself somewhere else. And exhale, slowly lowering the knees. If you need to come back into a child's pose, great. Now, if at any point this is too much for you to hold, you can have your knees to the ground, but make sure that you're not just like hanging out here. You still want to activate and keep those shoulders over those wrists. Or I recommend doing a wide-legged plank, which still really helps to teach you to keep your whole body straight. So whatever works best for you, go with that. All right, getting ready to set yourself back up. We're gonna do 2 more of these planks. Finding a good fit for you, challenge-wise, and hold. Pulling the elbows back towards the feet, pushing the feet away or pulling them in towards you. Both offer nice stability, creating that tension. And exhale, slowly lowering down. I like to do a child's pose to get the weight out of my shoulders. Counter stretch for them. All right, now we're gonna come up onto our hands. Unless you have any wrist issues, you can stay with your forearm plank. Just make sure you're pressing equally. I'm gonna take my fingers wide, and then I'm gonna plant them so my pointer finger is facing forward. Grip the ground. If you have a handstand practice or have been curious, this is what your hands need to look like. And then stepping back into my plank. Now I'm going to exhale, bring one knee to my elbow and back. And same thing other side, and switch. If you just want to hold your plank, if that's enough for you, great. But if you're here, follow along. There's no time like this time. When I started out, I couldn't touch my toes, you guys. I couldn't do anything. I felt so weak in my body, but I pushed myself. It was so hard every day, pushing myself past my fears, past my weaknesses, and have grown so much stronger because of it. And you can too, I promise. I promise. And one more each side. And exhale slowly, going back into that child's pose. Breathe, you deserve it. All right, now we're gonna stretch out onto our bellies. Stretch out our core here. You can come to a Sphinx pose, which is your elbows are underneath your shoulders, and you're really pressing your elbows into the mat while rolling your shoulders back. That will give you a